Welcome to QMath. This is our video on addition and subtraction with negative numbers, which is the first video in our unit of arithmetic with negative numbers. So what will this video cover? It'll cover what negative numbers are, what opposites of numbers are, and addition and subtraction with negative numbers. So what is a negative number? A negative number is just a number that's less than 0, and they're written with a minus sign like this. This number right here is called -2. And as you can see on this number line, anything to the right of 0 or greater than 0 is a positive number, and anything to the left of 0 or less than 0 is a negative number. What are number opposites? If a number is positive, its opposite is the negative version of that number, and if a number is negative, its opposite is the positive version of that number. For example, the opposite of positive 3 is -3, and the opposite of -1 is +1. And keep in mind that numbers with no signs in front of them are always positive. Addition and subtraction. So if two numbers have the same sign, we can just add them both and keep the sign of the two numbers. For example, +2 plus +5 is +7. And our second example is -3 minus 2 is equal to -5. Now let's look at the second example. So we have two negative signs, so we're just going to add numbers, and we keep the negative sign because both of the numbers have that sign. And our final answer is -5. If the two signs are different, we subtract the smaller number from the bigger number and we keep the sign of the bigger number. For example, 2 minus 3 is equal to -1 because the 2 is positive and the 3 is negative. So we subtract 2 from 3, which is 3 minus 2, and we get 1. And since 3 is the bigger number, we're going to keep the sign of the 3, which is negative. So our final answer is -1. Alright, now here's a problem with three numbers in it. So let's do the first two numbers first. -5 plus 7. We subtract 5 from 7, which is 7 minus 5, and we get 2. And the 7 is positive, so the answer is +2. We're keeping the sign of the 7. And we still have a -6 left, so we're going to do 2 minus 6 now. And so we subtract 2 from 6, 6 minus 2, to get 4. And the 6 is negative, and it's a larger number, so we're going to keep the negative sign, and our final answer is -4. Another way to write addition is to say 2 minus -5. 2 minus -5 is the exact same as 2 plus 5. I mean, that's 7. And another way to write subtraction is 2 plus -5, which is equal to -3. It's the exact same thing as 2 minus 5. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and we'll go over the answers soon. You have your answers? Let's go over them now. The answer to problem 1 is -2. So first we subtract 6 from 8, which is 8 minus 6, and we get 2. And since the 8 is negative, we keep the negative sign, and the answer is -2. The answer to problem 2 is -7. So we have -5 plus -2, and keep in mind that this is the same thing as -5 minus 2. So these numbers have the same sign, which is the negative sign. So we just add 5 plus 2, we get 7. Then we keep the negative sign, so the answer ends up being -7. The answer to problem 3 is -1. So first, let's start with 1 plus 3, which we know is 4, and we still have this minus 5 left. So now we do 4 minus 5. We subtract 4 from 5, 5 minus 4, and we get 1. And we keep the sign of the bigger number, which is 5, and the 5 is negative. So the final answer is -1. And the answer to problem 4 is -5. So first, let's rewrite this as -7 plus 2. Remember that minus negative is the same thing as adding a number. So we're going to add this 2. And they're different signs. So we're going to subtract 2 from 7. We get 7 minus 2, and we get 5. And since the 7 is negative, we're going to keep that negative sign, and the answer will become -5. That concludes this video. I hope you learned something.